Liquid pizza? Yes, please. Pizza beer, or more like sourdough pizza beer. I brewed it. After the success with the Tzatziki Sour, it was time to do the pizza beer. So let's jump in, pour the beer, and show you how I brewed it, share the recipe, and all of that. Let's kick it. I'm DrHans, this is DrHans Brewery, my channel about beer and homebrewing, and this is my friend Chewie. I have tried the beer before for patrons and channel members in a BS video, but now it has been sitting for quite some time because I have been busy working in the garden. Epic pour, let's do this.
DrHans pours the beer like a true brew god, pulls a tab like the flare like it's part of the squad. Creamy foam rising like a mountain peak drop. Another flawless pour, may the madness never stop.
There you have it. Before we run through the brewing process, if you want to brew this yourself, let's check out the beer. We have a one finger, tight head, dark yellow, maybe more like a light orange. Nice and hazy. This beer, as well as all of the other sourdough beers I made using my sourdough starter, is brewed in the iGulu. I have dedicated videos and discount code on the machines and everything, so link down below. It's really great for me to do this small batch brewing with this crazy experiments, but if you want to brew a lot, you can just scale it. So this is a 1 gallon or 3.8 liters. Well, editing doctor, we sort everything in. Thank you, my hero. Let me just ask you a question. What beer do you think is best for pizza? Is it a lager? It's an IPA with a lot of bitterness to drive through the fatness, or could it be the pizza sour? Let me know down in the comments. So I reached out to you with a YouTube community poll, and the result? The lager is a clear winner for pizza. I really want to get really nerdy with this one, as I use my sourdough starter to actually make pizza. And I only have one video about pizza here on the channel. Also have a video on how to make your own sourdough starter. But this starter, I actually want to get super nerdy, so I fed it up with Tipo 00. And if you don't know what that means, maybe you're not nerdy enough, bitch. Sorry, I will try to contain my Tourette's for this syndrome. For this episode. Let's continue. I used 100 grams of San Marzano tomatoes, and I used 2 Swedish kryddmått, so that's 2 milliliters of dried basil. I also used 3 kryddmått of, that's 3 milliliters, of dried oregano. For like the cheese part of this, I was just thinking that we have lactobacteria in the sourdough starter as well as yeast. And I didn't want to go overboard. I was thinking to add even more tomatoes, but we're not trying to make a Bloody Mary here. We're trying to make a pizza sour. I do wonder though, what would the Italians say about this beer?
This a beer? You call this pizza? No, this is a liquid betrayal.
Fair enough, but with the Tzatziki Sour and with the pizza sour, we're not actually trying to make a tzatziki sauce or a pizza, liquid pizza. You could just get one in the mixer and blend it up with your macro lager, I guess. We're trying to hint at it. Like this Tzatziki Sour being the cucumber and mint. And with this we have the San Marzano tomatoes, we have the oregano, and we have the basil. So on top of the San Marzano tomatoes, the oregano, the basil, I added some boiling water. The idea was with that was not really to pasteurize it, but I guess I did, because I'm not really afraid about the bacteria in a sour. But I thought I wanted to make like a tea out of the basil and the oregano, and I also thought, like, if you're doing a pizza, it's a cooked dish, so why not also bringing the tomatoes up to temp? I filled up my iGulu fermenter with the best water I can scout nearby, and I poured that mixture, which I strained, into the fermenter. On top of that, I added, of course, in this one, wheat DME. So this is an extract beer, but if you want to do all grain, why don't you do like a wheat beer base? So that would be like 50-50 Pilsner and wheat malt, something in that area. Or 40-60. If you do want to go 100% wheat malt, that's totally fine. If you use a lot of rice hulls or oat hulls, or maybe brew in a bag. So I used 500 grams of wheat DME, and on top of that I added my sourdough starter, made out of Tipo 00 for the Italians' approval.
Not approved, DrHans.
I put the whole thing in the iGulu and set up a 3-stage fermentation. I started this at 22 degrees Celsius for 2 days, ramped it up to 23 Celsius for 2 days, and finished it up at 25 Celsius for 5 days, but I cut it off a little bit early because it was already done. And here we have the beer, and it's still holding some sort of head. Impressive. Let's give this a sniff. Are you excited? Definitely getting like sour freshness, getting the basil, getting the oregano. Do I smell the tomatoes? No, I don't. It had like a pinkish look to the wort before fermentation, and I said I could have had more. I didn't want to make a Bloody Mary. Maybe we should do that next. Do like a full can of San Marzano tomatoes and celery. What do you think? Does it smell like pizza? Yeah, maybe not. Let's just dive in. Cheers. It's sour already. I can feel it in my gum. Really nice. I really like my sours to be like, So it is as sour as the other ones. I'm not sure if I get any of the tomatoes. Clean fermented. It's a sour, yes, but it's a clean sour. I think I could use more tomatoes, more basil, more oregano. I was afraid to use too much basil. Basil can have, like, for me, like a metallic taste. So I didn't want to go overboard with that. But you know, you can always add more if you want to. In the fermenter or something, I do get both the basil and the oregano, but it's not like screaming of it, which you might think it would if someone would call it a pizza beer. Don't go overboard with the basil, but use more oregano, use more San Marzano tomatoes. Could you use any tomatoes? No. Of course you can, but it's not the same. San Marzano tomatoes, if you haven't made pizza with San Marzano tomatoes, if you haven't made pizza sauce, they are expensive, San Marzano tomatoes, but they are worth it. And San Marzano, correct me if I'm wrong here, don't correct me, let's get some info from the lab doctor instead about the San Marzano and the measurement. So here we are, making a bar as a common peasant. Me, literally genius, building a small forest retreat out of scrap wood and bent nails. So, let's talk about tomatoes. This is San Marzano, the real stuff, grown in Italy's volcanic soil and probably kissed by the Pope. San Marzano clocks in at a Brix value at 8 degrees, so it's sweet for a plum tomato. But yeah, not your sweetest, but you cherry tomato fanboys don't need to me with your silly lines. San Marzano is a dense tomato with a low acidity and perfect for sauces and apparently pizza beer. Why San Marzano on pizza? Well, it gives you great flavor without flooding your crust like a tomato smoothie. And speaking of fermentation, this fermented out to 10-15. Why? Well, they all have fermented out to 10-15, and San Marzano could, of course, change fermentation, but at this amount, it wouldn't rock the hydrometer. And while Dr. Hans was busy calling everyone a bitch who doesn't know about Tipo 00 flour, let me tackle this one also. Dr. Hans used Tipo 00 flour to build up his sourdough starter. Tipo 00 is a low-ash, ultra-fine Italian flour made for pizza and good for focaccia also. Will it affect the beer? No, but maybe it will make Dr. Hans feel superior, so good for him. And salt. The editing doctor caught that. Dr. Hans used a kryddmått of salt in the brew, and if you're not delivered in a van behind IKEA, a kryddmått is 1 milliliter. And
the science behind that amount. I can literally quote the doctor. It worked in the Tzatziki Sour. That's the science. That's the whole thing. I will leave you now. The puppies are fighting, and I have this bar to set up and to be ready before Dr. Hans's birthday. So happy birthday, Dr. Hans, and may your pizza beer be bubbly and your audience so confused that they don't cancel on you. Where's my Nobel Prize?
Thank you for the kind words, I guess. This beer is fantastic. Go ahead and brew it. Maybe up the San Marzano and the oregano, maybe even the basil. If you have eyes, you can see there's 2 machines here now. And the reason for that is to do more crazy shit. So what kind of split batch things are you interested in? What? Yes. The glasses. I prepared for a behind the scenes video. Chewie and I will record it for patrons and channel members. Straight after this, I have a Sunday beer ready to go. That's why we have the Belgian glass there. If you haven't got started with sourdough baking and sourdough brewing, make your own sourdough starter. Easy. Promise. Cheers. See you in the next one.
That's all, beer bitches.